with a laugh and a little cheer. Cassie, Connie, and loudmouth Linda, keeping it real, no agenda. Satire, truth, and a whole lot of fun. Politics, crime, we get it all done. From breaking news to a joke or two, we do it our way just for you. We just can't make this stuff up. 1 year strong and we ain't gonna stop. Mic in hand, voices loud, shouting truth, making you proud.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. How many times do I need to say it? Good morning, a little bit more. Hey, there's some things we're going to go over this morning. It's going to be really interesting. I heard some stuff last night, and prayers go out to you guys over there in Minnesota. I know the weather has been horrific. I saw where a tornado touched down outside one of our families, people's house, 8 miles out. So let's say prayer for KMM, and let's hope this bad weather is over. All right, let's hope this is all over, because it's horrific. And they say you don't think the government's involved. Yeah, right. I've got things that I'd like to say about that, but anyway, we won't go there today. So we're going to go into, we were talking about Jonathan Oddie yesterday. And Jonathan Oddie was the one, I'm going to show his picture real quick so everybody knows who I'm talking about. Jonathan Oddie was the one that did the, here, just a second, let me show you guys. So, let me see. This is Jonathan Oddie. This is the guy that, do you guys remember that all of a sudden this crazy lawsuit came up, and this man was suing Diddy for $5 million or something crazy, and then they said no, he was nuts, and he had testified about a bunch of different things and had said a bunch of different things. Well, I'm going to show you the interview this morning, and I want you guys to come to your own conclusion about this man. Now, here's the thing. This man was good friends with Diddy, and also good friends with a few other people. So I'm going to show this interview, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about it. I want your opinion. So I will get that interview going right now. And let's see what you think, because I've watched it like 3 times. And it's insane. Guys, it's insane.
Interrogations we have ever covered here on Sidebar, and in light of a criminal indictment against music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, some people are seeing it in a whole new way. We're taking another look at the bizarre claims made by a man accused of shooting up one of former President Donald Trump's Florida hotels and his connection to Sean Combs. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. So as you know by now, rapper Sean Diddy Combs is facing sex trafficking and racketeering charges out in New York City, accused of using force and coercion to get people around him to facilitate and participate in so-called freak-offs, these group sex sessions that sometimes last for days at a time. The criminal indictment lays out the allegations, only names Combs as the defendant, although that could potentially change down the line. We may see more defendants. But since Combs has officially been charged and he's locked up behind bars, there have been a lot of videos that have been surfacing, particularly online. And one of those videos is the interrogation of a man named Jonathan Oddie. Now, this is a strange one, maybe some would say an odd one. See what I did right there? So I want you to stay with me. So we go back to 2018, and Jonathan Oddie allegedly went into the Trump National Doral Miami Hotel and Resort in the middle of the night and ostensibly went on a rampage. State Attorney's Office says that Oddie fired shots in the lobby and toward the chandelier, then draped a giant American flag across the front desk. There was a shootout when Miami police got to the scene, and Adi was shot in the leg and tried to hide, but he was taken into custody. He faces multiple charges: attempted murder, armed burglary, grand theft. Now you might be saying, well, why are you talking about him? What is his connection to Sean Combs? Well, once Adi was released from the hospital, he did an interview with police where he repeatedly asked to speak with the FBI, the CIA, Secret Service, the media. And during that conversation, he brings up, of all people, Sean Combs. Now, here's the thing. You might say, Jesse, what are you about to talk about? Does this guy sound crazy? I'll leave that to you.
Are you drowning in payday loan debt? Have you taken
Oh,
out
of
multiple
course,
payday
we're all
loans and are
drowning
unable to pay them back?
payday loans.
Then listen to this message closely. A recently announced payday loan forgiveness.
But what he ends up saying back in 2018 is kind of eerie, thinking about what the allegations are right now. And for that, I want to talk about some specifics. And I want to bring in retired NYPD detective Tom Smith to talk more about this. Tom, thanks so much for coming on. We haven't had a chance to talk about the Sean Diddy Combs arrest, the indictment. I'll first ask you about the arrest, and then we'll get into the Jonathan Adi situation. But what's your overall reaction about what happened last week? And particularly, I thought it was really interesting because there's this video that's been surfacing, I believe TMZ published, where you can see agents arresting Sean Combs at his hotel at the Park Hyatt. He knew this was going to happen, seemingly. He came to New York to face the charges, but I don't think he knew at that moment he was about to be detained. There was a question about, did he want to surrender himself? But they detained him in the hotel lobby. What did you make of that?
Well, it's how it's done. You have indictments, you have an investigation and indictment. And let me tell you something about the Southern District of New York in the U.S. Attorney's Office. They are the most powerful, strongest U.S. Attorney's Office in the country. And they do not just do a case, okay? They are airtight when they are brought to them. They do not prepare for a trial. They put so much pressure on the defense team and on the defendant with the amount of evidence they have and witnesses and electronic surveillance evidence, all of that into a packet. They don't move forward until they have you. And Diddy is in a lot of trouble with the Southern District being at the point they're at right now. He has a lot to look forward to because, like I said, U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District brings cases that are airtight, and they don't move forward until they're ready.
Hey, by the way, we really appreciate you guys coming to us for our Sean Combs coverage. We plan to continue to bring you updates on this story. And look, the reason we're able to do this is because not only of the support that we get from you guys, but also from our sponsors. And if I can, I want to call out one right now, Upside. So this is so cool. Upside is a free app that helps you get cash back on daily essentials like gas and groceries. Real cash back, money that appears in your Upside app that you can transfer straight into your bank account. Just the other day, I used Upside to find a gas station. I claimed an offer. I pay with my credit card at the pump, follow the steps on the app to get cash back. And you can use Upside at all different kinds of places, including restaurants, convenience stores. So to find out how much you could earn, click the link in the description to download Upside or scan the QR code on screen and use our promo code SIDEBAR and you'll get an extra 25 cents back on every gallon on your first tank of gas. I hope you can check it out. Yeah, and we spent a lot of Sidebar episodes so far breaking down the indictment, the charges, what might be to come, why they charged it this way. But now you see things that have come out. You see these videos that have come out. And I want to talk about this interview where Adi is rambling for a while and he's talking about different conspiracy theories. And then suddenly he mentions Combs.
Do you know Sean Combs?
Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
P. Diddy, whatever he calls himself these days. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, he's part of what's called the Boule. The Boule is a branch of the Illuminati.
Okay.
It's the black people. Okay.
Quick aside here, the Boule is a real thing. It's the senior leadership of Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. Our understanding, it's the oldest postgraduate fraternity founded by and for black men. It was secret in the beginning, but not anymore. It's been rumored that she is believed to be the person identified as victim number one in this indictment. It's with respect to the sex trafficking charge. And her story in her lawsuit and the accusations in the indictment seem to line up. And Cassie claims that Combs abused her for almost their entire 10-year relationship, using his money and influence to keep her from leaving. She claims Combs would have male escorts brought to his home or hotel rooms where these freak-off sessions would occur. These elaborate setups were reportedly filmed, complete with lighting and support staff. Thousands of bottles of lubricant and baby oil have been found during the course of this investigation. And Combs reportedly used these sessions for his own gratification. But he also held on to the videos as collateral against whomever might be featured on them. And Cassie says that she was forced to take drugs when she participated in these freak-offs. Sometimes Combs would participate, sometimes he would just watch. An anonymous source told the New York Post that sometimes Combs wouldn't even be in the room, but could see what was going on from an elaborate camera setup in the home. So, Tom, this interview is from 2018. The fact that he is referencing this before Cassandra Ventura's lawsuit, before the indictment, before all of this came out, before all of us knew what a freak-off was, that is really chilling and kind of gives us pause.
Yeah, it corroborates everything that is going on right now. And this guy becomes a witness. You know, he may have just stated this during a random interview back in 2018, but now he's a witness in the present day. They're going to go to him to see what else he knows. Now, when you have an individual like this, when you get him in this session now of being a witness and you can kind of guardrail his way of thinking instead of just letting him go off on tangents, who knows what else he has or what other information he has about other crimes that were committed, who else was involved. There's a lot there, and you have to, take him for his word right now until it gets to a point where you don't anymore. But he's going to start corroborating a lot of the information that's out there right now.
And he claims that he participated in some of these sessions. And he also says,
all right, this feels almost illegal to know, but
Okay,
our windows were so old and just desperately needed to be replaced.
John.
So I called a few contractors, but they all quoted me a hefty $10,000.
He caught an STD.
I caught herpes, and I came back and I seen for the herpes and won. But they did. Mark Garagos and Ben Mercedes were his attorneys, okay? And Christopher Leon's here was my attorney. They asked me to turn in that, which was the video recording, and I did so. They gave it back to me accidentally, and it's possible I threw everything out. It's possible I can produce a copy.
So again, this interview is taking place back in 2018. Cassie's lawsuit wouldn't be filed until November of 2023. So the officers don't really know what he's talking about. Tom, you think he might be cooperating with the government? Maybe they're speaking with him. The problem is, of course, is credibility, right? And during this interview, Adi makes references to a lot of things. He makes references to a cabal of rich people who control the government. He claims the hip-hop world had its own goal.
The hip-hop agenda is an agenda to move drugs law in the United States. You need to inform the DEA. They move all the dope on private jets, which don't get screened by
customs,
by the inside the United States. Okay, they move what's called high grade powder, MDMA. They move cocaine and they move liquid cocaine in their bottles too. Okay, so they put the liquid cocaine in the bottles and they move it. I've seen the liquid cocaine. I've drank it myself, having sex with Diddy and Cassie. Okay, it's not good. He drinks it all the time.
All right, so Tom, what do you make of this? Because again, the question is he credible? Is the government relying on him? Maybe they're getting information from him, but maybe they won't call him as an actual witness at trial. What do you take away from it?
Yeah, I'm not anticipating him taking a stand if this even goes to trial. But what you want to do is you want to get his story out there. And what can the investigators do as well? You take his picture and you show it to other witnesses that are now cooperating. Who is this guy? Start kind of backtracking to who he is and get into a profile of him. If he's telling the truth, you start showing it to people who are in the know. Because listen, there's a lot of people no one knows about yet that are cooperating in this case and giving their statements because they want to get out in front of this. They know it's a crime. They know Diddy's in a lot of trouble and they don't want to get swept up in it. So there's probably a laundry list of cooperators with this. And what you start doing is, if the stories are the same and you don't need them, you won't use them. If something he's giving is new and credible, then they'll follow up with it even more.
You know what's interesting is that in one of these lawsuits, the one that was filed by Rodney Little Rod Jones, this is Combs' former producer, sued him for sexual assault. He writes in his complaint, quote, "They were made aware of this through complaints made by Cassie Ventura and the lawsuit by former Diddy sex worker Jonathan Oddie." So he's referencing him too. And now we tried to look it up. We couldn't confirm if there was a lawsuit that was filed by Oddie against Combs or vice versa. And just to give everybody, here's another sampling where he talks about it as well, because the detectives try their best to steer Oddie back to this issue about the shooting inside the hotel. But listen to what he says.
I've had a great life. I've settled $4.125 million with Diddy. Okay, was he scared that I was exposed?
I don't want to talk about Diddy right now. I want to talk about you. Help me understand you. I mean, who?
So yeah, I don't think they realized at the time how potentially valuable this information could be. And there's no way for us quite at this point to verify what he's saying. But those connections between Jones mentioning him and this lawsuit and the details, it's interesting.
Yeah, but you have to understand, it's the Secret Service that's interviewing him, and the Secret Service wouldn't be involved in the investigation of Diddy if it was going back even that far. It might have been a different tone if someone involved in maybe the FBI was doing that interview and heard this information, might have rang a bell with a possible investigation that was taking place then. So you have to understand the Secret Service is focusing on the shooting at the Trump Hotel. And when you start hearing this information about Diddy, I understand them trying to just get back on track with talking about the shooting, because that's why they're there. But when you're...
Okay, guys, so here's the thing. When Jonathan Oddie came up and was talking about and testifying and brought his case to court, they said he was crazy. They wanted to put him in an institution, because remember, this is the man that they arrested for, and they said it was all about Trump. No, it wasn't about Trump, and it was in the Trump Tower though. So let's kind of put the pieces together. All right. So they are saying, right? Cassie said that they did do freak offs at the Trump Tower, right? We heard that yesterday, or the day before. So anyway, they did freak offs in the Trump Tower. Jonathan Oddie was at that freak off. So now we got that piece. Why Jonathan Oddie was even at the Trump Tower. He was at a freak off. He was at a freak off in the Trump Tower with Diddy and all of his entourage and all of this crazy stuff, right? Well, he was used as an escort also. He was crazy. He was done with it. He was done with all of it. He was done with it. That's when he just wigged out, threw the American flag over the counter, and proceeded to bust up everything so the cops would come and pick him up. He had already tried to turn Diddy in before. No one listened to him. No one wanted to hear what he had to say. Everyone thought he was crazy. So what do? You do something insane. You get people's attention, right? So Jonathan Oddie got everyone's attention by busting up the Trump Tower in the lobby. The cops arrested him. This that I'm showing you now is the interview the night that he was good, Whoopi. So this is the interview that I'm showing you of when he was arrested. The night that he was arrested, he's already said, look, there's all kinds of sex things going on. There's a lot of drugs going on. And now he's spilling his guts. So I'm going to finish this and then we're going to go into some more because I've got some really good tea to spread out tonight or today. Look at me. You guys, look. I don't know the difference between night and day. I'm up all the time watching all this stuff. So here we go.
You're sitting there, you take note of it, you understand what he's saying, and you pass it on. And hopefully they did that. You know, when you have information like that of criminal activity that's taking place, you hope that they passed it on to the right agency.
I don't imagine they would give him some sort of deal. Like, hey, we know you have all this information, about Combs and the inner workings. A, I'm not sure they need him if a lot of this is actually on videotape, like we're seeming to be reading between the lines of the indictment and some of the filings from the prosecutors. They might not need him to corroborate these sessions happen. But B, he's charged with attempted murder on law enforcement officers. I don't think that there's any kind of benefit to him that would be given for his testimony.
This is the aircraft carrier shelter you seized.
Okay, wait a minute.
Previously owned by a small faction of about 800
Let's get
people.
this off here.
Now it's entirely.
Yeah, probably not. And again, when you look at the enormity of this, I am sure all the information that he gave has already been put out there, put into the indictment, put into the criminal activity, which resulted in him getting arrested. There's probably many, many more that are giving more information about this situation than him. So I could see them trying to avoid him. You want to get credible people.
That was when he was
involved in this.
arrested.
And again, like I said before, the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Southern District are masters at this. They know who to use, what statements to use, and who they want in the event that it does go to trial. So he may not be on the list.
It was a commercial.
And by the way, we looked it up, and it seems that his case has pretty much been in limbo since 2018. He's still behind bars in Miami-Dade County. His case has been continued again and again and again. His next hearing, I believe, is scheduled for October 10th. There was one other thing that he mentioned, the idea of the drugs, right? And we've heard about this before. There have been multiple allegations made against Combs when it comes to drugs. Drug use was reportedly rampant within Combs' inner circle. When Combs came to New York, reportedly to turn himself in last week, police searched his hotel room, and authorities say they found a baggie of pink powder that tested positive for cocaine. His attorneys have said that he's been getting therapy and treatment. They didn't say what kind of treatment specifically. And although he is not charged specifically with drug offenses,
Look at him with his little mask
underlying
on.
crime.
Is this what he was
within
doing? He had
the
this little
racketeering
mask
case,
on
this
like
criminal
that when
enterprise,
he
this
was watching
organization that
Freak
committed a
Outs,
bunch
the
of crimes.
weirdo?
He's also not hit with specifically federal gun charges, but there were accusations in that indictment of possessing guns with obliterated serial numbers. Again, these kind of underlying charges. From an investigative point of view, when you think about the raids and you think about the connection between drugs and guns and this criminal organization, what jumps out to you?
Well, it all makes sense. These criminal activities that are happening is under an umbrella. You see it all the time. Where there's drugs, there's money. Where there's money, there's guns. It's just a equation in law enforcement that we dealt with for decades, and I did personally. So, the other thing is just because this case is in the midst of going on and he's been arrested doesn't stop the investigation. The investigation continues because information is going to continue to flow in. And if there's more criminal charges that need to be added to this, there will be.
Let me ask you one final question. Combs was denied bail twice. Once by a magistrate judge, another by a district court judge. Big themes: that he's a danger, that he was allegedly reaching out to witnesses and victims and intimidating them and gaslighting them and providing them false narratives, that he could
look at that
potentially
goofy
be
picture.
a flight risk.
Look at that goofy
And
picture
there
on
was
his
an
wall.
offer
Did
put
you
on the
guys
table
see
by the
that of a
defense,
baby?
where they said we'll put up
with
$50
an
million
adult
bond
head
secured by
on
his
it?
house. He'll have no access
You
to a
guys saw
phone.
that.
He'll have no access to the internet. We will hire a
That was
third-party
crazy.
security team to monitor him 24/7. He'll wear a GPS monitor. We will give you a log of people that come to and from his home. But the judges felt that was insufficient, given the allegations asserted by prosecutors. Right decision?
Absolutely, 100%. You cannot let him out because I think the number one thing is the flight risk. I think personally that's the biggest threat for him. And
even though he never left, even though he came to New York voluntarily, there was communications between his attorney and the the prosecutors in this case, the United States attorneys for the Southern District, where they told them constantly, Combs is going here. Combs is going here. We have his passport. That's what his lawyers were telling
Notice
the
all
government.
the phones
So even that, you
next to
still
him.
think
What
flight
does he
risk
need
is
all
a
those
big
phones
thing.
for? And all of
Yeah,
those
because now he's
remotes.
charged and in jail. Your
We'll go
mindset
into that too.
changes. You know, the reality of sitting in a jail cell maybe for the rest of your life gets into your head now. So that's why I think the flight risk is the biggest thing. And listen, Diddy's an intimidating guy. He knows a lot of people, a lot of powerful people, and the intimidation factor with possible witnesses is certainly on the minds of the U.S. attorney and the judge.
Tom Smith, thank you for coming on, breaking down this odd situation with Jonathan Oddie. I can't be the only person who does that. I mean, I think I might be, but I don't know. I feel like other people might make that.
All right, guys. So now we know exactly, right, who Jonathan Oddie is. Jonathan Oddie, they said, was crazy. Diddy said when he did his lawsuit for $5 million, he only asked for $5 million. Get that? Cassie asked for 30, but he asked for $5 million, and Diddy said, "I've never seen this man before. I don't even know this man. I don't know what's going on with that." Yeah, sure you don't. So the government or whoever had him in an institution. Dig that. They had him in an institution and said that he was criminally insane because he broke up the Trump Tower, the waiting area, whatever, where you check in the check-in area at the Trump Tower. They said he was a Trump supporter, a crazy lunatic. He did that because he didn't want Trump in. He did that. And that is all a lie. He was trying to get the attention. He had already gone and told the cops what he knew, a little bit about what he knew. He wanted to get it out there. He couldn't get their attention. He just could not get their attention. So what did he do? He tore up the Trump Tower. What happened? The police came and arrested him, right? You're crazy. You're dangerous. You're far, and he was, you're far left. You did this. Now, there's that division again, right? That I keep preaching about. They're putting this division. They're putting this division. They're putting this division. They're making this division. Well, did they make the division there? They have him out to be a far left-wing person that tore up the Trump Tower because he didn't want Trump in office. That wasn't it. That wasn't it at all. So now he's out. Right. Get the attention to tell all about the freak offs. You're absolutely right, Wolfie. Spot on. So he went down as being a total crazy left wing, which was not the case. You know, I'm going to bring you the truth, and this is not the case. What he wanted to, excuse me, what he wanted to do is he wanted to get the attention. Get the attention. I need the attention. I need to be able to get my story out. I need to be. So then when he went in and he was telling everybody what was going on, they said, no, he's nuts. This man is nuts. So now they have him painted out to be a crazy lunatic. Well, guess what? That crazy lunatic is going to testify in court. Well, he did. He was one of the ones that was watching out for Cassie. And it's insane how they tried to paint a whole different picture. I mean, who covered up? That's what I want to say. Who covered up all of this crazy stuff? Don't you want to know? I would like to know who did this crazy stuff and who wanted to cover it up, because it's definitely a cover-up. I hope you guys can see this. Let me see. I'll go in here so maybe I'll make it a little bit better, bigger so that you can read it. On the side here, this is the testimony. They're going back after Cassie again. The judge has said, look, the judge is going after the defense because they're saying, listen, you said you would be done and she could get off of the stand by Friday. You said you would be done. Well, questions come up. This judge is not playing any games. They're asking stupid questions so they can kind of drag it out so that they can turn around and bring her in next week. Well, everyone knows she's getting ready to have a baby. That baby's coming. And they're thinking that if they can, because she's credible for this trial. So if she went into labor, then they could say, well, allegedly, Cassie said this because her voice wouldn't be there to testify. So the judge said, nope, this is it. We're not playing any games. You've got 4 hours in the morning. That's it. Today, you got 4 hours. She has 4 hours on the stand today. And then they're going to she's done. She's off the stand. Oh, well, no, you guys, sorry. Let me rephrase that. And then the prosecution can come in and do a re-interrogation on her for just a few minutes or whatever. But they're going to let her go. I mean, they're asking silly questions. Come to find out, they said, was there any drugs in the baby oil? She said no. But, she said, not that I know of. They didn't for me. So, see, that's still in the wings, too. We don't know whether there really was drugs in the baby oil or if there really wasn't drugs in the baby oil. Cassie said the ones that she used, there were no drugs in the baby oil. And that was because she took the drugs on her own. Diddy didn't have to drug her. I think, in my own personal opinion, I think that Diddy had certain bottles that had stuff in it and certain bottles that didn't have stuff in it. The ones that he couldn't get to take it orally, then he used the baby oil to get the ones that wouldn't. That's in my own personal opinion, because the drug he put in the baby oil, yeah, in my opinion, that's right. In my opinion, that's what he did. The people that said, no, I don't want that, were the people that got massages, right? Would you like a drink? No, you don't want a drink, which was laced. The alcohol bottles were laced. You don't want to drink? Oh, okay. Well, it wasn't actually the alcohol that was laced. Let me get that straight. It was the juices and the mixers that were laced. Okay. So he'd say, do you want to drink? And they'd say, no, I don't want to drink. I don't want anything to do with that. Well, how about a massage? See, this drug can be put in, and it secretes into the skin and gets you just as high. So, I mean, the man was diabolical. He knew exactly every which way he could do that he could get the outcome he wanted. Right? I mean, if you don't want to drink, then we'll give you a massage. We will get you messed up one way or the other. What was that song? One way or the other, I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna find you. Whatever. I got that backwards. But anyway, yeah, he was gonna get you. He was gonna get you. So the best and the safest place for you to be was to not be there. The other thing is, there was a model. There's a story out there that there was a model that went to one of these freak off parties, right? And her security guard did an interview, and he said, no, we took our own bottle with us. We took our own bottle because we didn't want anything to happen to her and we didn't want any of that crazy stuff. So we brought our own drinks, our own mixers, our own bottle. All right. But did she get a massage? They didn't ask that. I mean, the man had every base there was to cover. He covered everything. He covered every way, every which way he could that he could take advantage of somebody. Okay, so this even gets better. So yesterday during the interview and okay, I'm gonna get to that, Wolfie. Wait till I tell you about that. Okay, so yesterday, Diddy had a meltdown in court yesterday. And, you know, when he gets angry, he has a tendency to show his tail a little bit too much. And what happened was they weren't asking the right kind of questions, right? You're not asking the right questions. You're not doing what's right. So Diddy started writing notes and handing them off to his attorneys. Ask her this, ask her that, ask her about Kim Porter, ask her why she went with that guy, ask her. So yesterday, who ran the interrogation? Diddy did. And the more Cassie just said, well, I was kind of jealous at first, but really I didn't, you know, I got over it. It was a thing. It made him mad. It made him so angry because he was like, you know what? I got to get to her. I'm using every little trigger I can, every button I'm pushing, every button I can to get this to come out. And guess what? She was just not going for it. She was like, whatever, you know, dude, you're so over. I'm so over you. I'm dealing with other things in my life right now. And I'm dealing with what you did to me, not you. And you're trying to pull my jealousy out. It did. It backfired big time. They said that she was so calm, cool, and collected on the stand that if they asked her if she did something, she said, yeah, I participated in that. Well, why did you do that? You knew it was bad. Because Diddy would have killed me. Diddy would have hurt me. Diddy would have made it happen no matter what. So, you know, she didn't get angry about it. She was very calm. They said her voice was like silk. And the more she talked like that, the madder he got. He got furious. Ask her about when I went to Kim Porter's for Christmas. Ask her. Yeah. Trying to get that jealousy seed back up. Guess what? It didn't happen. It backfired completely on him. Nobody wanted to hear it. Nobody cared. She didn't care. She's so done and over with him. And he thinks that he still has control sitting over there. And can you imagine? Here's all these attorneys. They're all, I mean, it's like Diddy is sitting at his table and he's got one attorney here, and one hoovering over the back of him. And he's writing all this stuff down. And the more she acted all calm about it, the more he just threw these papers because he was so mad. Well, Diddy, come on. Did you really think that she was going to get angry? The time is gone. Dude, the time is gone. Okay, so, Woofy, witness 3, the special witness. All right, well, first it came out, people thought that it may be Brittany because they brought Brittany's name up, right? Brittany's name was brought up yesterday. The story with Brittany is they have receipts that Diddy might have trafficked Brittany also. So we already know what he did to Justin, right? And now they're saying that he may have trafficked Brittany also. Now, if you stop and you think about all of that, right before the VMA Awards, when Brittany went in and she was out of it. she couldn't sing. She was staggering. All of this stuff was going on, right? So, and then she married that guy in Las Vegas for a day, got all looped and married that guy in Vegas for a day, or her friend that was watching over her or whatever. And then she buzzed all of her hair off that night, the night before those VMA awards. She spent that whole night and day with Diddy. Okay. So they feel like Diddy might have done some not so great things at that time with her and trafficked her also. And you know, if you stop and you think about it, after the VMA awards, right after that, that's when right after the VMA awards was when she got the guardianship socked on her where she couldn't get any of her money. All of this happened after those VMA awards. Diddy wanted to do this. Was Diddy's diabolical plan. Hey, you know what? We will make her look crazy, and we'll make her look like she's a drug addict, and we'll make her look all of this, and then she'll have to have a guardianship, right? Right? So at that point, I mean, fighting all of this, Britney was going spiraling, and she was doing all kinds of crazy things. Now, I think when you start talking about these sex trafficking and who is the victims, you've got women out there that can be shattered and broken really easy. It doesn't take much. They're just shattered because they don't have that strong inner peace inside them, that strength. And I don't think it took much to shatter Britney. I really don't. I don't think it took much. So, but Cassie, that woman is strong. She is one strong lady, and he had to continue over and over and over and over and over and over. And I don't know. I mean, I think that he broke her, but he didn't shatter her like he did Britney. I mean, he shattered Britney into pieces, total little fragments. So what they were saying is they thought that the secret third witness that they can't find now, that has mysteriously disappeared, was Britney. Now I've heard that really the third witness, which kind of threw me for a loop, might be Allie Carter. It might be Allie Carter. Allie Carter. Now you want to hear something weird? So they've been searching for her, looking for her. Where's she at? What's going on with her? We can't find her. What's going? The last spotting of Allie Carter was on St. James Island. Think about that for a second. St. James Island is Epstein's place. That was the last time she was spotted. So I'm sure that they're still hunting for her and still looking for her. I'm sure they still want her to testify. I'm sure that it's insane. All of it is totally insane. And how he covers up and he does the things that he does. And they're bringing up nonsense. The defense is bringing up nothing but utter nonsense that means nothing to the case to throw Cassie off. While in the background, they're over here looking for Allie Carter. And if it really is truly Britney Spears, she could. These guys can go missing really easy. They can exit stage left. They just don't want no part of it. Britney's pretty fragile as far as mental. So she might have, they may have just told her, hey, maybe this isn't what you want to do. Maybe I don't want to testify because it brings up all these bad memories. Maybe. So what they're saying, well, hello, Michael Logan. So maybe in the back of their mind, they're thinking, let's bring on Jonathan Oddie. Let's bring on Jonathan Oddie. Let's bring him into court. Let's let him tell his story, which would be very smart, because I think that these girls that are afraid and the ones that are they just don't want to do it, they don't want to relive it, they just want to just go on and pretend it never happened. Maybe that'll give them the courage to come forward, because like I said, they've already said Jonathan Oddie's a crazy lunatic and nothing ever happened. He's lying about everything. He's a left-wing antagonistic rioter. I mean, wow. When I heard that last night, I wanted to hop on so bad and say, what is wrong with you people? Why are you painting a picture of somebody that is not even close to being true? None of it. Don't lie. Don't lie. We don't want to lie. We don't want to hear any lies. Why didn't you tell us what he truly said? Why didn't you tell us, hi, Spudsy? Why didn't you really tell us that the reason that Jonathan Oddie tore up the Trump building, inside the Trump building, was because he was trying to get the cops' attention? Why didn't you tell us that that he had been into the police station and was trying to testify and tell things and give evidence and everything before that? How come we never heard about all that? All we know is that he's a lunatic. Oh, he's a lunatic. He just didn't want Trump in office. No, that was not the case. That was not the case. So, when they bring Jonathan Oddie up on the stand, which they're going to, yes, he was. Welcome. And you know what? I'm not even going to try to say your name because I will butcher it. So I'm sorry. I don't want to say your name. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Diddy was doing Prince. And Prince said, Prince came out and said, hey, you know what? I'm not long. Remember Prince saying, I'm not long for this earth at the end of his time? Don't you remember him saying that? Diddy had his fingers in everything. In everything. And you know, I'm going to tell you right now, there's a lot of people that are going to come forward that it's going to be surprising. But like I said yesterday, all of these big names, Britney Spears, Justin Bieber, I don't know about Usher. But I would hope that he would come forward. But you got Usher. All of these people are going to do their testimony. They're going to do their testimony over video, because they're not going to come in and they're not going to show themselves. I mean, they don't want anyone to think bad about them. Look, they've already crucified Cassie. If you watch and listen to all of the chats and everything, instead of saying, what a strong woman she is. Here she is, she's pregnant, and she's going through the most horrific part of her life, and she's bringing it out for God and everyone to hear. And she's, you know, what a strong woman. That's all I can say. And your hormones are all going awry during that time. What a strong woman. And instead of saying, you know what a strong woman she is, they're saying, oh, she was involved. It was all about the money. She was a hoe. She was this. She was that. She was something else. Really? Really? Are people that horrible that they can't see the truth? Are people that blindsided? Or is there somebody out there that is just, are they just, is it just better to make up in their mind that Diddy was this wonderful person and they're just trying to frame him? I mean, guys, I gotta say, we all pay for what we do. We all pay for our actions. Whatever we do, if we don't pay for it now, we're going to pay for it in the hereafter. And I'm telling you what, some people may pay for it both here and there. So don't paint a beautiful picture of somebody and put this little tin person, and I mean little, he's little in all senses of the word. He's little, itty bitty, tiny Diddy. Yeah. Well, don't turn around and put this little itty bitty tin god on a pedestal and think he's not guilty. The man is insane. He's demonic. He's gonna, I can guarantee you, sure as I'm sitting here, this man goes down, he's taking people with him. I can guarantee you he's going to take people with him. If he's found guilty of all of this, he's going to start spewing names. And he's going to take down people with him. It's insane. And he thinks that he is Ozpudsy. I love it. He got it from my father-in-law. That's all right. I'm just saying. I am just saying. He's going to start spewing. There's going to be names coming out. We're only on day 5. That's it. We're only on day 5. And the stuff is already crazy. We're going to get into the big names. They're holding back. This is like one of those murder mysteries that you watch. You sit there and you're at the end of your seat and you've got your hands grasped and you're waiting and you're screaming at the TV. He's around the corner. He's around the corner. Yeah. It's gonna keep building, and it's gonna get to the point that we're all sitting on the edge of our seat because it's gonna get more and more and more intense. So okay, sorry. It's okay, Spudsy. It's okay. I think you're right. Whoopi said, "I think you're right." He's going to realize he has no control and lose his mind. I don't even know. Do you really think? All right. There's so many questions you want to ask. What is a conscience, right? What is a conscience? You've got a good conscience and a bad conscience. You've got a good conscience that leads your life. You have, I can't do this because it's wrong. I can't live with myself if I do this because it's wrong. It's that little voice inside you that says, no, you don't want to do that. You want to carry on. I don't think Diddy has that. I don't think Diddy has a conscience. I think he wanted control so much that he just didn't care. I just don't think he cares about other people. I don't think he cares about, I don't think Diddy has, I don't think he cares about life. I don't think he has it. I don't think he knows the value of life. But you know what? He's getting ready to find out what the value of life is all about. He's getting ready to find out that life has no price tag on it. Diddy's getting ready to find out that all his little secrets and all his little stuff is coming to roost. And guess what? You can't hide it anymore, Diddy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that all of it's coming out so everyone can see what a demon you are. While you take down innocent people. Cassie was 19. Diddy was over 30. Make it make sense. And then when the child trafficking, which I guarantee you is getting ready to come out, people are going to have a different view of Diddy. Of course, they'll say, you'll hear in chats, no, don't worry, Diddy didn't do it. Diddy didn't do it. Diddy didn't do it. Somebody controlled Diddy. Diddy was just a puppet. No, he was not just a puppet. Diddy was not a puppet. Diddy was a diabolical. Diddy made the Joker from Batman look like a saint. I'm just saying, guys, it's the truth. The hands that man put on so many people, and not only did he put hands on them, he mentally abused them. If he couldn't drug them and mess them up like that, he mentally abused them, along with everything else. You could almost go as far. Well, okay, let's go there. So in the interview with Jonathan Oddie, did you not hear him say, well, Diddy is a part of the Illuminati? Really? Did we not say that yesterday? Did we not say that we thought that he was a part of more of an elite group? Okay, well, the Illuminati is a pretty big group. And I think that what Diddy did is he's a part of the Illuminati and learned some of this stuff from there and branched off to make his own money and his own fame. And probably the same thing with Epstein. You know what, Wolfie? You can't have a camera in federal court. You just can't. It's illegal. Man, I wish I could. I would tell him, hey, Donnie boy, we supported you and we still support you and we think you're wonderful. Can you please put a camera and audio in the court? We want to hear it. But that's why we've got all these people in here that are typing all of this stuff and they're taking their time. If you look on the screen, this is the time and this is the testimony. This is what was said in court. He's going to have a meltdown today too. I can guarantee you. He is going to lose his, well, maybe he'll be bald by the time that this court case is over. He'll have yanked out every hair in his head because it's happening. And I'm so passionate about this because so many women and men, don't think that there's not some men out here that he hasn't controlled. Okay, because there is. I am so passionate about this because we abolished slavery a long time ago. I don't believe in slavery, and we abolished slavery a long time ago. And now it's a form. Come on, guys, open your eyes. Sex trafficking is a form. If you go across the border with a pound of marijuana they'll say, you know what? You were caught intent to deliver. We'll give you a couple of years. You go across the border with 5 or 10 people, they're all messed up because you're dragging them over. What are you going to get? How much time are you going to get? They won't even question it. They won't even question it. Oh, is she with you? Oh, okay. Did she drink too much? Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, well, go ahead. I mean, guys, it's awful. And it is one of the biggest trafficking thing. Drug trafficking was big, but now the cartels figured out that, hey, you know what? Human trafficking is by far better, and it makes us better money. It's sick. It's sick, and it needs to stop. You don't human traffic anyone. You don't have that right. I mean, I was against drug trafficking too, but this is a definite no way. No, there's no pass for this. This is one that if you're caught human trafficking, I don't care. I believe in the death penalty. That's my own opinion, because and if the receipts are there and there's no squirming out of it, no, you don't have the right to tear up somebody's life. You don't. You don't have the right to destroy anybody. You don't. That's my opinion. And I'm pretty hard about that, because people have a life. They have the right to enjoy the beauty of life and love the same way everyone else does. I don't care if they're poor or whatever. This is the thing. Oh, they were poor. I don't care. They have the right to live in life and enjoy the things in life and love and be loved. None of this other crap. And it's a hard no. And if a woman says no, that's what it means. No. The answer is no. Okay. Human trafficking can also be fallen under that. If you guys don't realize that, if they take somebody out and they say, instead of the R word, they can say, if the woman says no and it happens more than once, then it's trafficking. Trafficking is a broad name for a lot of different things. You're right, Spudsy. You're absolutely right. Nobody has the right to own you. Nobody has the right to tell you what to do. They shouldn't be allowed to beat it into you, drug it into you, do anything to you. We are put on this earth as free moral agents with the good Lord above watching over us and guiding us in that direction. Sorry, I don't want to get on my pedestal and start preaching. But we have that right. We're given that right. That's what God put us on this earth, to have free moral spirit. Not to control other people, not to drug other people, not to sell other people. It's sick. And I don't know if this man could even, I don't know what y'all think, but I don't even think the man knows who God is. So I don't even know if he could get on his knees and ask for forgiveness. Maybe in prison somebody will show him the light, but I just find him to be so narcissistic and so controlling that I don't know. I don't know if there's any help for him here. I don't know. I would like to think that he can see his wicked ways and come, but I just don't think he doesn't think he's wicked. He doesn't think anything he's done is bad. I had a party. So what? I had a party. I threw big parties. People came. I paid him money. So what? It's been happening. It's the oldest job. It's the oldest, what do they call it? The oldest career or whatever. You know, hey, I helped somebody out. They didn't have any money. So I brought them to our party. Hey, I mean, come on. Everyone had a good time, right? Everyone had a good time. I gave them the liquor. I gave them this and I gave them that and I gave them a good time. I was just a party planner. Yeah, right. The man is narcissistic and he needs to go down. And he needs to go down. And you know, they talk about, oh, well, he had tunnels underneath his house. Well, he probably did have tunnels underneath his house so that he could get, I mean, there's tunnels underneath a lot of homes, big fancy homes. I mean, even the Playboy Mansion has tunnels. And that's how they bring all these people in, right? Oh, Seg, you missed everything. So the Playboy Mansion has a tunnel that goes in and out so nobody can see you and they can traffic people in and out and all this kind of stuff, right? Well, Diddy had tunnels underneath his home also. And I guess, rumor has it, allegedly, there were like cell-like areas where he took these people and locked them in there. And then when it came time to do their thing, he showered them up, dressed them up, put them in a little package, and there you go. And then put them back down in there again. That's wrong. You know what? We're human beings. We are supposed to be on the top of the food chain. We are supposed to be the most intelligent of the animal kingdom, right? And we got somebody like this. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. So Diddy, I wish they had tunnels underneath the prison where you don't see the light of day and you get these cages for people like him. Sorry. Did you hear the speculation of Diddy using the shipping ports near his Miami home? You know what, Woofy? It would not surprise me in the least. It would not surprise me in the least that he didn't. There's so much that's coming out. Like the truck driver. Is he going to testify? I hope he does. I hope he does. I hope he tells everyone how he wasn't allowed to. It was a meat truck. It had an air conditioner and everything so that he could keep these people comfortable in their boxes, right? I hope they find him and he testifies to, you know what? Look what this guy did. And you know, the sad thing is he's not the only one. There's ones just like him out there. And you know, just because they don't have a big name on them doesn't mean that they don't need to go down too. Bring them all down. Bring them all down. Bring them all to justice. And that's where the tunnel comes in. We'll just start throwing them all in the tunnel down there in their own little cage. Maybe Diddy's cage that he had underneath his house should be his own. Maybe we should put him in the cage he had for other people. Look, you built this thing for yourself. Or we could just build one just like it and have him guarded underneath the prison. And you know, how does it feel to be down here in the ground with no light? And you know, how do you like that? How do you like that? Don't you like that? Isn't that great? The whole thing has been, for Cassie, it's been demeaning. It's hard to go back and have to testify to this kind of stuff. And I give her props to even get up there and even tell anything, because you know what, the Lord was sitting with her that whole time. She was too calm. She was laid back, too calm, and said, come on. It was like, come on, give me your best shot. Because I just lived 10 years with Diddy, and I can't imagine that you could make my life any worse than that. So give me your best shot. So I give this lady all the props in the world. I, bless her for getting out there. She's not getting a thing for it, guys. She's not getting paid for being up there testifying. She's already got her money from Diddy. Or did she? There's the question. But you know what? She's going to, I think that being able to get up and testify and get the dirty part of all the scum that she had to go through out, it's a road to healing for her. And slap it on Diddy. Here you go. Let me slap this mud and this slime and all this stuff that you've made me carry around all this time. Here, you carry it for a while. You carry it. Because she came out with it. She never lied. She never lied when they said, were you involved in this? Yes. Yes, I was. I thought it was a job. I felt like I considered it to be nothing more than merely a job. Really? You guys, can you imagine? I don't. Yes, the truth will set you free, Woofy. And, I'm sure she was carrying around a whole lot of baggage there. And I think that when she gets up on the stand and she can let it all out and she can say, hey, this is what happened. This is what he did to me. This is how he controlled everyone. Whether the other people are strong enough to get up here, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to tell you what he did to me. And I'm going to paint this picture of what I can guarantee you he did to everyone else. There you go. Case closed. If he did it to Cassie, he did it to numerous people. And I didn't think he married her. I didn't, that was kind of a shock to me that she married him, but she was married to him. I mean, some people take their vows very, they take them very seriously. And she probably felt like she could help him and straighten him up. And he married me now. He won't do this. He'll protect me. Yeah, right. I don't think so. I don't think the man loves anyone but himself. And I don't think that he cares about life. If it comes out to make him money, or it comes out to, it's got to better him, or he doesn't want no part of it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a dark, cold, damp place where this man is going to end up. They said that they think that maybe he could get off on a technicality. I don't think so, guys. I just don't see that. I just don't. Do you see it? Do you see how there could be any way? Now, write it in the chat, because I would really like to know. We could discuss it. How could he get off right now? At this point, in 5 days, how could there be a mistrial? There can't. There's people of color in the jury. Can't say that it was racist. What could happen? What could possibly happen that this man could get a mistrial? I would really like to know what you guys think, because I can't think of any way. I mean, I'm sure he is sitting in his seat going, oh, God, here comes. Oh, what do you mean you're bringing Jonathan Oddie in? No, he's crazy. Don't bring him in. He's going to go through a mental torture with all these people coming forward and all these crazy things. Yeah, he's gonna start squirming in his seat. Give him, you know what? Well, if you give him about 20 more days of this, and the man is going to be so mad and so irritated that, he may give himself a heart attack. He's not a young man. I don't know, but I'll tell you this. He's one diabolical. You know what? Let's put him in the shoes of the Joker from Batman. And I would have to tell you that he could teach the Joker a few things. Because this man, this is no man. This is a demon. This is a total demon that is out to destroy. Out to destroy. And I don't know how that man can look himself in the mirror every day, knowing what he did to other people, knowing good and well how he treated her and others. They say Allie Carter, he treated just as bad, if not worse. They also said that now I thought that he was good to Kim Porter. I thought they said that he was good to Kim Porter and he never laid hands on Kim Porter. Well, that came out yesterday and other things that, yes, he did. He treated Kim Porter just as nasty as he treated Cassie. Okay, now listen to this. I heard this yesterday too, and I was in shock. He would never take Kim Porter. He never would take Kim Porter on the red carpet or to any of these big gala events or anything because he did not think that she was attractive enough. So he used Kim Porter to basically breed so he could have children. Think about that. Is that not the most disgusting, horrible thing you've ever heard in your life? I can't. I can't. I can't even put my brain around somebody being that gross, that disgusting, that demonic. And, if he's out there, there's others. Just at different levels. They all need to be picked up. They all need to be picked up. You know what? Let's pick them all up and throw them all in a cell together. They can sit there and do whatever to each other because they don't need to be free and manipulating and coercing. And, come on. This is brainwashing. That wasn't on as one of the things, but come on. This is brainwashing. This is an occult at its highest level. Diddy being the preacher of the church. He's the cult leader. Don't say anything. Oh, don't talk about Diddy because Diddy's a good guy. What? I don't think so. I didn't think David Miscavige was a good guy, and I didn't think that Jim Jones was a good guy. If we need to keep going, we can. They're all out there. David Koresh. All these people are not good people. They're not good people. Good thing that Jim Jones got himself out. He put himself out of everybody's misery. David Miscavige is still wandering the earth, and he needs to go too. All these people that control other people and brainwash them. I don't even know if Reverend Moon is still alive, but he needs to go too. You should never be allowed to control somebody's mind like that. But there's a thing that the FBI has brought out years and years ago. They did testing on it in 1970 in the 70s, and it's called MK Ultra, and they mind controlled many people. Don't Don't you kind of wonder if they don't try to do that in this day and age? I can guarantee you they do. I can guarantee you they do. It's just probably on a level we don't realize. Look at it raining in New York, which everybody's got their umbrellas. Yeah. So when she was 9 months pregnant, she was, you know what, Woofy? Just think about that for a second, guys. Just think about that. That is just insane. That's insane. I don't even think animals do that. You know, they just don't. Animals have more respect, even though they don't pay child support. They have more respect than Diddy has. Diddy had no respect. None. No respect. And you know, I dare anyone to come in here and tell me this is a color thing, because it's not a color thing. It is a mental, crazy, institutionalized, crazy, demonic person. You know, Epstein was of other color too, and he was just as diabolical and crazy. This is a mind thing. This has nothing to do with color. This is insanity at its best. In fact, it's not even insanity. It is flat demonic. There's no, I can't even think of a word that's worse than that. And that's him. Well, he sits there in court. Can't you picture him now sitting in court going, go ahead. Tell her about Kim Porter. She was always jealous about Kim Porter. Tell her about Kim Porter. Oh, that didn't get her? Okay, well, let me think. Tell her about how she cheated on me. What? Who cares? That was years ago. We want to know how you controlled her mind. We want to know how you drugged other people and made them do things against their own will. It was no party, guys. The only one that was at the party was Diddy. The only one for the party was Diddy. Everyone else was out of their mind, and Diddy was enjoying the show. He directed it. This is something that needs to go on HBO, because you know what? He directed the show. He told Cassie how it was to be done, how long she was supposed to take to do it, and if she got too fast, they had to start all over again. Really? Oh, and by the way, you know what? You don't have enough baby oil on you. Really? Really? Who are you to tell me anything? But she was beaten, and she was crushed. And the sad thing is, she loved this man. She really loved this man. And he was charismatic enough to keep her loving him, making her do things she would have never done. Although, let's talk about that too. She was 19 years old. There's a lot to be said about teenagers. I mean, they always say how babies, you form babies, you mold babies, you teach babies, the difference between right and wrong, right? You have a baby, you teach it how to walk, you teach it how to talk, you teach it what not to say, you teach it what to say. And then there's another molding. When you're in your teens and you're 19, 18, 19, 20, there's another molding. And I can just bet that, I mean, Cassie's really pretty. So when he saw her, it's like the eye candy I want, and I want to control. Oh, let's see. Oh my, isn't baby oil drying with material oil? Okay. You know, baby oil, I'm going to tell you, baby oil was used because when babies come at they're so dry, so they use baby oil. That's what Johnson and Johnson made it for. But I'm going to tell you, Johnson's baby shampoo. When your baby's born, it's born with cradle cap. Johnson's baby shampoo will take that cradle cap off. Come on. That's crazy. That shows you how strong that stuff is. It's pretty. It's some strong stuff. It won't make your eyes water, but it may do something else to you. I don't know. It's insane. So anyway, back to Cassie. So Cassie loved him. And whatever it took to please Diddy and make Diddy happy, Cassie was going to do it. She's going to do it. Mineral is very drying. Well, hello, Nana Tafor. Welcome. I've already been on my soapbox. So I just, when people believe that they can control other people. Oh, really? I wonder what the lie was. They just said that I just heard that they caught Cassie in a lie. Well, it was probably, you know what? I'm going to tell you the lie she probably said was something that she was told, and Diddy probably lied to her. I don't know. Or they're just saying that, they're trying to tear her down. They're trying to make her look like yeah, castor oil is really good. I just don't think that if she lied once, okay, well, it was probably something easy, something simple, something stupid, something little. But I think the main parts, well, shoot, the videotape tells all, right? Grabbed her by her hair, drug her down to the hallway, and was going to drag her down the hallway and back into the room and say, hey, you know what? You are going to perform. How about that? You are going to perform because I am your boss. I am your little tin god, and I'm going to tell you what to do, and you're going to listen, and you're going to do whatever I say to do. Now. And he did this to many people. He did this to Allie Carter. He did this to Kim Porter. He wouldn't take Kim Porter. He wouldn't take Kim Porter to any of the gala events, but by golly, he sure took Cassie and put her on his arm and said, look at my arm, Candy. Look at this. Look what I got. And at 19 years old, she'd probably go to these big fancy events and all this money around her and everything. And he promised her he was going to give her a record album and do all this for her. Yeah. How does that, that she fell for it. That she said, you're going to give me a record album? 19 years old. Put yourself at 19 years old. You're going to give me a record album? You're going to make me famous? Oh my gosh, what do I have to do? Really? Do I have to get the snot knocked out of me every day? You never told me that. You never had that in there. You just told me how you were going to dress me up like a princess and parade me around, and then you were gonna record my CD, and you were gonna send it out to everybody, and I was gonna be rich and famous. You never told me you were gonna beat the brakes off of me. You never told me you were gonna hand me out to everybody and let everyone do whatever they wanted to do to me. That was demeaning and Yeah, you never told me you were going to do that. Why didn't you tell me you were going to do that? Oh no, because you know what? I wouldn't have the control over you that I did if I told you I was going to do all that kind of stuff. You would have ran. You bet your sweet dollar I would have ran. But now guess what? I'm 36 years old and I'm reflecting on everything you did to me. And I'm seeing that you are nothing but a demon and that you controlled many people. And I was not the only one. You know, another thing is, and I apologize, please forgive me, but there's another person that got brought up in the trial yesterday that Cassie said she was paid and hired to follow Cassie around and was supposed to report to Diddy and tell Diddy all the dirt and basically to spy and be Cassie's best friend or whatever, and then to tell all the dirt and everything so that Diddy knew everything that Cassie was doing. All right. So, and I can't think of the woman's name, but I'm going to tell you this. Didn't Epstein have a woman that taught him and guided him and spied on him and did all this kind of stuff too? I mean, these guys learn from the same textbook. And you're going to hear the Illuminati name get thrown around a lot more. You're going to hear that name. Buckle up, Buttercup. You're going to hear the Illuminati's name get thrown around a lot in this trial. Because you know what? He was a big part of it. He went to his monthly meetings or whatever, I'm sure. It's insane. It's insane. And you know, it's insane that these people are allowed to do it. Cassie would have done anything. Oh, I like that lady's tennis shoes. Cassie would have done anything for Diddy. Think about that. Anything. Anything. And you know, J-Lo was carrying the gun. J-Lo was the one carrying it. She had the pew in her pocket, in her purse. She was carrying it. How does somebody talk you into, hey, you know what? We may need this. So put this in your pocket. Wait a minute. If I got to carry that around to be with you, I'm not going. Loser, you've made everybody. You have made everybody afraid. And you have made a lot of people mad, and you're afraid yourself. So we've got to carry this around just in case your little goons don't catch them. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well, you know, I'm going to tell you, you think you have all this money now, Mr. Diddy? You're not going to have any money when it's said and done. And there's a different kind of law in prison. And I don't think they're going to like you too much. Because you ain't going to be the leader in there at all. You guys, it just burns my butt. And you know what burns my butt? A flame about 4 foot high. Just teasing. I just think that he is crazy. And I think, and you know what scares me is this big thing out there. This big thing. This is a big case. This is big headlines. This is big names. This is, you know, Epstein took down the government. Diddy's gonna bring down Hollywood. This is where this is gonna go. The music industry. This is where this is gonna go. And there's these big people up here, guess what? There's little ones that are doing the same kind of thing. They're just not making the kind of money, and they're not making the headlines. And they all need to go down. They all need to go down. You don't human traffic anyone. You don't have that right. Oh, he's going to sing like a canary. When they throw the book at him and they say, guess what? You're getting life. You're getting life. It's all over. It's all done. You're getting life. He'll say, well, remember that plea bargain? Remember that plea bargain you gave me? Well, I would like to tell you some stuff that I know about other people. Come on, he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to sing like a canary, and he's going to say, I'm going to give you this one, and I'm going to give you that one, and I'm going to give you all of this information. Well, why didn't you give it to him before? Because I thought I was going to win this. I thought that I had enough clout that I could buy my way out of it. Well, guess what? All the money in the world, you can have all the money in the world, and when the feds come after you, it doesn't matter. They don't care about your money. They don't care about your money. They could care less about your money. They want a conviction, is what they want. They want to keep their statistics at 99.9%. is what they want. They don't want to break that record. So the people that think that Diddy's going to walk, wow, he would be 1%, 0.1% when it comes to the feds. 0.1%. And if he happens to, if by miracle of something, and no, Trump is never going to give him a pardon, that is never going to happen. No way would Trump dirty his hands with this kind of dirt, this kind of slime. That's what's going to happen, guys. That's what's going to happen. He's going to say, what do you mean life? Life? You're going to give me life? You're going to give me life? Okay, wait a minute. Can we talk? Let's talk about, well, even if you give me 30 years, I'll still be 85 when I get out. Oh, who cares? We don't care anymore. We got our conviction because this is our track record. We continue to hold our 99%. And if, like I said, if by chance, some miracle happens and he gets off, don't you think for 1 second that the feds won't come after him again and they'll find something else. Because this man cannot keep himself that squeaky clean. That would just boost his ego that much more. I just don't see it happening. The man is going to prison one way or the other. And to be honest with you, he will be one that won't be missed at all, ever. He won't be missed because we need people like him off the streets. Look, we're going to get us a commercial. We're going to change that. We need all of the people just like him off the streets. We need to care for our neighbors. We need to love our brother. We need to help our brother if they need it. We need to walk the path. The path is a narrow path, but you know what? People walk it every day. And we need to walk that path because crime and sex trafficking and all this kind of control and all this kind of stuff is a very wide path. And you can walk that with ease. Being good, loving your neighbor, being honest, being an upstanding person. And you know who I thought was upstanding in this? the security guard that held onto that tape for 10 years, sat on the tape for 10 years and never got a dime for it. That's upright. That's stand up. That's a stand up kind of person. That's the kind of people we all need to be. Like I said, it's too easy to walk down the path of crime and demonic and control and nasty, just flat, vile stuff. That's easy. That's easy. The path is wide. It's wide. Everyone can go. But walking in truth and justice and love, that path is pretty narrow. But I see people walk it every day. And everyone needs to walk that path. Whether we have to walk it single file or whatever, that's the path we need to walk. Instead of trying to figure out how to take down people. It's sad. It's sad. It's too easy to be somebody like him. Not totally, because, you know, he's a demon. I don't know if it's so easy to be a demon, but it's really easy to be corrupt, a liar, a cheat, a thief. You know, that's all easy. Be a pimp. Turn yourself out. That all that stuff is easy. Let's get on the path that's not so easy. I love a challenge. That's why I walk that path. And this guy is on the road with a lot of other nasty, snarky, disgusting people. He don't stand out other than he's demonic and probably pure evil. Pure and simple evil. I bet you if you twisted his head and poured it out, green goo would fall out. I mean, I just think the man is just disgusting. So, I have talked your guys' ears off. And I've gotten on my soapbox and I have preached and I've gone on. And I am going to end this here in a little bit. I want you guys to tell me your comments real quick before I end it. And then I'm going to go listen to some more snarky, nasty, horrible things that Diddy has done. And every day I walk away with more of a shock. The man built that wide criminal path himself with his own hands. I don't know. People like him. People like him. And I just don't see it. You know? Yeah, when you're 19 years old, you want a bad boy, right? I love that. You know, the teenagers, I love a bad boy. I want a bad boy. Oh, the bad boys are so cool. I love that. Really? They turn into this. And this gets worse and worse as it goes. If that man, that security man, was sitting on that tape for 10 years, the feds have been watching him for that and then some. So let's see the receipts. They're coming out. They're coming out. So hang tight, guys. Keep your head on a swivel. Love you all. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, like on your way out the door, like and subscribe. And you know what? I'll be back tomorrow. And we'll go over some more stuff. What else can he do? I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll find out. Love y'all. Take care. Bye.
From shady news to crime so rough, you already know we just can't make this stuff